All right, welcome back to another edition of Wu-Tang and American Saga. We back finally. You know, brothers had to get some stuff handled on our sides, but we are back with reviewing episodes 7, 8, and 9. We'll be back next week, episode 10, and what we think for season 3, the final season. So how you been, Focus? How you been, man?
I mean, it's all good, man. It's all good. No complaints, man. We, just navigating life best way we can around here, man.
Yeah, and we give good quality reviews, so
definitely
you waiting. It's time. It's time. You know, wait. It's this time. This just gets better with time.
Indeed, man. Yeah. So let's jump right on into
it.
Yeah.
Let's get it.
We are episode 7, right?
Yep.
I appreciate first of all the feedback that we've been getting for the the recaps. Just a lot of people tuning in. It's a lot of people. It's like, yo, I got you in the queue. I ain't caught up yet, and I don't want y'all to spoil it for me either. So.
Right, like, I'm gonna come back after I watch every episode to check out what you're saying.
I'm like, man, just click on it, man. Just come
just click on it.
You know what I'm saying? But nah, it's all good, man. Peace to everybody who's gonna watch us, and you know what I'm saying, moving forward too. So, episode 7. All right, so it started off right. They are at this point. Well, it shows them pressing up the vinyl, right? And that whole like the mechanical, like the press. They're doing all of that to kind of foreshadow them going into the street, and they start hustling. You know what I'm saying? And trying to get the boxes of product, tapes, and vinyl into the record stores. And there's this one like particular scene where Mook was running point on it. He was quarterbacking the effort, and he kind of like got Ray and Ghost.
We got to roll back who Mook is. So some people may not even know who Mook is. That's their manager.
Yeah, who's Mook, man? You know what I'm saying?
Road manager, long-time manager and road manager.
No question. And if they've watched, well, I'll get into it. But if they've watched these 3 episodes, they'll see at some point where I'll get into it where Vine asked him to be the road manager, right?
Yep.
So Mook, before he's the road manager, right? He was the man. If you remember, like Mook, most recently, if you think back in the episodes, he was the cat driving the bus. And Power, remember when Power jumped on the bus and he was like, "Son, you driving the bus?" He was like, "Yo, son," because he was the man like Power in the streets. Yeah, he was the one that was like, "Yo, man, look. This right here is a blessing, man. We already beat the odds, man. The kind of stuff we didn't live through." So anyway, so Mook now is just like offering like advisement on how to navigate, right? So they go to the record store, and you got Ghost or Dennis and Chef Raekwon. They're acting like patrons, right? And so it was Vine that walked in with the box. He's trying to, politic with the owner. He's just like, "Yo, I got all of these. You need to buy these. It's the hottest thing in the streets." Dude's not really buying into it. The owner's not. He's like, "All right, man. You know what I'm saying? Everybody says this shit is hot." So Ray is just like, "Yo, that's that Wu-Tang? Yo, that's everybody. I'm trying to, let me get one of these joints." And then, you know what I'm saying? Dennis walks up. He's like, "Nah, after me, though. I need that first." And they kind of start riffing. And one of the random like patrons was just like, "Yo, let me get one too." You know
like, no, I'm on it too. What's up?
Yeah. So the store manager or the owner is like paying attention. He's like, "All right, well, yeah, this is because Vine was like, "Yeah, y'all, I'll get everybody taken care of. Y'all just gotta meet me outside." And the store manager was like, "Now wait a minute now. We can sell it in here." You know what I'm saying? Just at the register.
Normal prices.
Yeah, normal prices. So Vine ended up like offloading, like selling the whole box of product, and came out. And what was it? Oh man, let me see. It was it was Mook on the inside, excuse me. And Power was waiting for him outside. And he was like, "Son, we've been trying to get in this spot forever." And he's just like, man, Mook was just like, "Dog, it's the same rules as the streets, man. You create a demand. And then, you know what I'm saying, make sure that you have the supply to kind of back it up." And so, you know what I'm saying, they cut from that scene, right? A successful like, merch run to Vine and Bobby in the studio. That's where Vine was. He was in the studio with Bobby because he was getting ready to head to AC for the music conference, right? And so Vine is like, yo, we gotta go. Like Bobby's in the zone, he's making music, he's trying to crank out another beat. He's like, son, we gotta leave. Like, we gotta, just get ready. He's like, yo, give me a minute. I just need a minute. He's like, all right, you got a minute. So Dennis and Sha walk in from the record store and they arguing. Genius is in there too with Bobby and Vine. And this was one of those moments where they kind of let you know that the other thing we were asking earlier, like, when did they start getting, the mathematics? Like, when did they start, start paying attention to, the 5% nation of gods and earths. And so
I wonder if they cut that out of the whole series in general, that would be too much for people to actually, how they really was like building with gods and stuff.
Yeah.
It seemed like they took that out, took that out the kind of concept of what, maybe they just didn't think America could be able to see it or what.
I just, you know what, man, I think it's probably that. If they're writing the series for Wu heads, I think they're kind of relying on us to piece it together, and that's why they drop certain things like this, like when they would walk in and arguing, and Shaw was like, no, Dennis was like, yo, it's now cipher, and you know what I'm saying? Ray was like, nah, it's non-cipher. And he was just like going back and forth. They pulled Genius to the side. They were like, yo, clear this up for us. Yo, is it now cipher or non-cipher? And, Genius was like, yo, it's non-cipher, God. And so, you know what I'm saying?
Because he's the ultimate hit.
Yeah. He was like, nah, son. And then so I was like, yo, you going to question the just a genius? He's like, no, I'm questioning you, son. You know what I'm saying? And so, but that kind of gives us, another kind of a timeline where they're trying to figure out where they stand with the, you know what I'm saying, with the 5% nation.
And non-cipher means no.
Yeah, means no. So yeah, thanks for that too. So yeah, it's a little clarity. But then again, like Vine is still trying to hurry Bobby up, and they're like, all right, man, we gotta go, we gotta get to this thing. And they start divvying up jobs. It's like, all right, yo, we going to the Power Summit, or was it the Power Summit?
No, it was Jack the Rapper.
It was,
or was that later on?
Not yet.
Yeah. That was the Power Summit. It was the Power Summit.
It was I think it was about, so they were going to go meet all the, you know what I'm saying,
the record label producers, stores and stuff like that.
Exactly. So on their way out, you know what I'm saying, they're divvying up jobs. All right, while we over here, I need you to do this, I need you to do this, I need you to do this. And Dennis got stuck with calling a list of radio stations, like 200,
which is hilarious for the record.
Hilarious, bro.
To think that Ghostface Killer was calling radio stations to try to request the song.
And he has zero patience, right?
Zero.
So
think about, if anybody has seen him go, especially our younger listeners, have you seen him go at Michael Scarelli? Think about that, but him getting frustrated with WZUP in Detroit.
There you go. That's the same situation, bro. So yeah, he gets that job. He's not happy with it. You know what I'm saying? They like, yo, it's Chinese food in the fridge, man. Get busy. This is a list. You get to do that. He's like, yo, why can't Meth or like, you know what I'm saying, INS do this? He's like, yo, Meth knows some Jordies down at, you know what I'm saying, college, and him, A-Sign, you got, and you know what I'm saying, INS is gonna run down and do this campus run, try to get on the radio down there, get some spins down there. So Shaw comes home early because he left. He had to go hit a couple more record stores with Power. These weren't as successful, right? But they had to go hit these runs. So he comes back early because they weren't so successful. He ends up, splitting the phone list with Ghost. And he's sitting there watching. What was he watching? It was what movie was that? It was The Killer.
Oh, it's not Hard Boiled. It's a it's a not John Woo. It's the dude that really kind of started the way that we see. It may be John Woo, but it's Hard Boiled. It's around, if anybody, I'm gonna look it up here in a second, but it's basically the beginning of like your the new style of action films
Okay.
that we saw in the 2000s, late 90s, 2000s, or like the kind of like gritty, real bloody,
Okay.
it's basically, I think Boondock Saints took their thing from this film, this whole
Okay.
concept of this film.
Yeah, okay. Well, that's what's up. So they watching the joint, and then Shuri walks in, right? And she's supposed to be coming to try to get some rest, and they ended up kind of, what she say, Perry Mason and her or something like that, and doing all the work. But you know what I mean? She's like, yo, you all never heard you catch more flies with honey? And like, you know what I'm saying? Shaw's like, yo, who's catching flies, God? Like he completely went over his head. So she had to show him kind of like, how to navigate on the phone and that kind of stuff and make the requests. Let me see. Oh shit, man! You have to edit out that little.
Yeah. So I mean, so we no. So
so they
basically, no. So we kind of shift over to Meth and all them going down to the college and them trying to put the records out down there at the college.
Yeah, so that was interesting, right? So they immediately get met with some opposition. The little security dude, he won't let him in. It's just like, I think it was Asan. He's wilding. You know what I'm saying? He's trying to, yo, son, who you talking to? Meth is trying to be diplomatic. He's like, I got it. Listen, Angie's in there. She knows we're coming. We're here to drop this off. And dude's still like, yo, you no. You know what I'm saying? You're not getting in. And you guys just like, yo, just hand it to her. Like, yo, you ain't even like no cop for real, son. Like, just give her the stuff. And dude's like, no.
It's called the killer. It's called the killer.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah. I'm just making sure. I was making sure.
Okay, yeah. So the killer. Now I gotta watch it, man. I haven't seen this movie. Have you seen it?
Yeah, it is John Woo. Yes, I knew I was right. I knew it was John Woo.
Hey, you nice.
John Woo. It is John Woo. I knew it was John Woo because John Woo's changed the game when it came to action films.
So, while they're they went and tried to break around the back, you know what I'm saying? Alarm goes off. They spray painting Wu-Tang. INS is spray painting Wu-Tang on the building. When they cut because Shuri needs some things from the store, diapers and all of that, right? So Shah's like, yo, go give me something to eat when you know what I'm saying, bring me back a slice of something. And Ghost is like, man, I ain't you know what I'm saying? The equivalent of what Uber Eats would be now. He's just like, I ain't. So, Shah's like, dawg, if you want company, just say that. You know what I'm saying? I'll go with you. And then they ended up, you know what I'm saying, some cats rolled up on them at the joint. And it was to show love because they was in Park Hill. No, was they in Stapleton?
Yep, Stapleton.
So no, they was in Park Hill because Ghost is the only one that's not from Park Hill. He's from Stapleton. So he was in Park Hill to get the little joint. And Park Hill cats rolled up and was like, hey, yo, Stapleton. I turned around, right. To be some static. And it's just like, yeah, the thing y'all got going on, that's fresh. I'm feeling that. And so like Shah sees it and he rolls up. He's like, I thought it was gonna be some craziness. But they make it up to Ghost when they was in Stapleton, they made it up to Ghost's apartment, right? And so Ghost is up there with his brothers. And you know how they got the muscular dystrophy and the whole thing. And you know what I'm saying? They're huge fans of the music and they up there listening to it. And they don't know that Shah's the one who put the bullet holes in the wall. Mm-hmm. And now he's up there, right? And now he sees the bullet holes and it puts him in a place. It's kind of like, you know what I mean? Like, son, we was wilding, like life is precious. I'm looking at who I would have hit. Like this could not be happening right now. Like I'm sitting up here. These is the dudes that was in the room we was letting off. And so he feels guilty. You see him looking around the room and he's just like, you know what I'm saying? Man, and then the little brother, the older of the two brothers was just like, yo, I like what you did on the track, basically. He's being a fan. He's like, yo, would you sign this for me?
Right.
Yo, it's like, yeah, I was like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't know what to do with that, man. But yeah. So RZA cut to the Power Summit, man. Uh,
And this was ill. The Power Summit was some ill like cameos and Shooter on the Low.
yo, immediately dies effects. Did you
Yes,
see?
yes.
Immediately?
Now,
Yo,
did you when they get to Steve Rifkin, did you figure out who he was like talking about these my West Coast dudes?
oh, was that the Alcoholics?
Yep. Yep.
Okay, all
Yep.
right.
Because basically I figured out they're the first artists to sound the Loud Records.
Yeah, yeah. And then Twister was on in the Midwest.
Yep.
Yep, same time. And
Yep.
then they needed somebody from the East. So, yep. And then like a couple like a couple of scenes, like Rifkin was like a couple steps behind Vine. And I don't think like he didn't know who Vine, he knew who Bobby was, he didn't know who Vine was.
Yep.
So
Because Vine was locked up when he was kind of seeing them originally.
no question. No question. So they're going around, and you saw how crazy that was, man. Like they're, some cats like who was it, man? Well, they had the consignment dude where they walked up. Dude was feeling it, but he was just like, all right. Vine was like, yo, you like it? So all right, cool. So yeah, man. So start throwing out the numbers and that kind of stuff. And dude was like, you never done this before, have you? And Vine was like, nah. He's just like, yo, it's consignment. Like, I'll get you the money, but you give it to me now, and we pay you when they pay us. Like, we don't buy it. He's
Up front.
you about to buy it from dude though. He was like, that's a label. Like you're an independent. Now he asked me, like, you're independent or you a label? He was like, nah, we independent.
We're somewhere around there.
So he was like, yeah, man, you gotta, and so they ran into that a couple of times, and they went into they ran into one cat like towards the end of the summit, man, where they was kind of like regrouping. Right before the regroup, like Bobby approached the dude because he saw the little quirky, the white girl that looked like she didn't know nothing about hip hop. So he saw the brother on the other side of the room. He went over there and he played it for him. He was like, dude, I don't know anything about hip hop. I'm gonna be honest with you.
And the thing that was crazy is that the white girl was vibing with it.
Super vibing. He was just like, because they didn't even think to approach her until they was ear hustling, and they was like, yo, some dude was like asking, like, yo, can I get a ride to the Def Jam party? And they were like, it's a Def Jam party? You going? And he was like, yo, she's like, oh, now you want to talk to me. You know what I'm saying? He ain't got nothing about it. And he was like, he tried to play it for her. She was like, no, I already heard it. I heard it when you played it for, her buddy across the hallway. And I like it. So here's what I could do. I'll take your information, but get some spins. That way I can pitch it to my bosses. You know what I'm saying? She's like, I don't care where you get your spins from. It could be radio, it could be college, it could be whatever. Just get some spins. So that was, you know what I'm saying? That was kind of neat, kind of a, you don't judge a book by its cover situation, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, they made some headway, not the kind of headway they thought they was gonna make, but they made some headway at the joint. So let me see. Ray and Bobby back in the studio. Protect Your Neck comes on. So this is after they got rewind back to when they was getting the food. They was all headed back to go to the studio. They just randomly hearing themselves on the radio, man. You know what I'm saying? Towards the end of the episode, because they got the college radio. I'm jumping all around.
Yeah, no, people love it. They love it.
So jump back to the college scene, right? So they didn't get on with Angie. Ason is selling CDs in the parking out the trunk with some treats attached to the CDs. He's like, yo, they love our music. You know what I'm saying?
And they're like, what are you doing? Where you been and what are you doing?
He was like, yo, you ain't selling all the method, is you, dog? He was like, nah, we got some for the ride back. He was just like, yo, white boy walk up. He was like, yo, I heard you selling CDs. It's just like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? $10. You know what I'm saying? Handing him a dime with a CD or however he worked it out. But Ason got a flyer to a college party, right? So they had to hit that up. And so this is like that whole. So this is, if you remember in the series, Meth like played lacrosse, right? Like he was on the county board.
Because you got to remember, Meth technically was born in Long Island.
Long Island. So
and Long Island is big with lacrosse.
So he wasn't like unfamiliar with this demographic of people, whereas Asan and them were. So, but Asan is the one who scored the party flyer. So they go crash that, and they in there drinking and doing their thing, and the DJ messes up the music, stops, right? So, Asan, so he's throwing out the beats. Yo, they didn't hesitate. You know what I'm saying? They just, just start rhyming. So all the college kids was like, whoa, you know what I'm saying? They spitting, they taking time, like taking turns. And boom, if you like that, you'll love this, right? Do the tape on, bam, everybody's I smoke on the mic like smoking Joe Frazier, the Hellraiser. So, it was a hit.
And the tripped out part about this is there's people, a grown ass man that's 50 years old right now, that's been telling people that the Wu came to their college, that was at the that came, and nobody believed them until this moment right here.
You know what, man? And how long did it take for them to even care about that story, right? Because he was probably like, yo, these cool ass dudes came and set out the party. Who were they? Wu-Tang Clan. Oh, it's so weird.
It's got it. I mean, and I guess you probably don't remember nobody's, and it was just a party. You probably don't remember the rhymes. Like, it's not like it was performance. It was just them kind of ciphering. So even if he was spitting Protection Neck, you may not have remembered it.
Exactly. They was just.
I mean, maybe you know what? People probably remember ODB though.
Yeah, maybe
that was the tell sign is ODB.
Remember his energy more than his words.
And Meth. And Meth is so tall.
Yeah, right. That's wild though, ain't it? So
you think about it, somebody's like, yo, I've been telling people for years they came to my college.
These dudes wasn't on yet. They wasn't on yet. They was
no. And they stood and they stayed with us all night and kicked it.
Yeah. Man, that's crazy. So they get back to Staten after all of that, and Shuri's doing all the calls. You know what I'm saying? At this point, these Negroes and start watching The Killer, and then forgot about their job. So Shuri's doing the job for them. And I think she made some headway. I can't remember, but they get back and they're regrouping. So Bobby and Vine are back from the Power Summit.
No. You gotta go back to The Killers though. People don't know a lot of incarcerated Scarface and a lot of Supreme Clientele, as well as Iron Man, as well as Cuban Links, takes quotes from this movie.
Yes.
Like direct things, and they replay them too in the episode right in that moment when they sitting there watching. You like, hold on, man, that's right. That line does come from there.
My God, so they are killers.
Yep. And then on the beginning, Incarcerated Scarface is something about him. He blah blah blah. Well, it doesn't matter anyway.
You said, what did he say? Yeah, exactly. So all of that from that movie, crazy. I love it. They did that too, bro. This was insane.
Oh, it's he looks determined without ruthlessness. Something heroic in his manner. He doesn't look like a killer. Comes across so calm.
In this,
acts like he has a dream.
You're not supposed to trust anybody.
We're not supposed to trust anyone in our profession anyway. And that's from The Killers.
See, I'm gonna go back and watch that now, man.
I haven't watched it since college, man. My boy, you met Boogie. Boogie put me on that.
What up, Bug?
Yeah, Boogie put me on that.
That's what's up, man. So they all get back, they're regrouping, and it was Shy and Bobby. They were upstairs. Everybody else was downstairs, kind of ground level outside the building, and they were upstairs in the studio getting ready to go downstairs. And Protecting That came on the radio. And they're like, yo, did you hear? Can you hear us? Like, yo, they turn it up. Everybody's downstairs like, yo, they looking up, they looking down like, yo. And so that was dope. You know what I'm saying? Like things started to fall together.
That moment, it's
based
that
on
moment, and that's a moment in general for anything with anybody that
Yeah.
you'll never get back. That moment you first break through in whatever you're doing.
Yeah, straight up. It's only one way from here. Like, I mean, it could go, but yeah, that moment's like
It's that moment of like, it's basically your innocence is busted in because now it's real shit. Whatever you're doing, whatever industry, that moment you like, oh, it's popping.
Yeah. Fruits of the labor, right?
Yep.
So episode 8, right? Episode 8 starts off. This is the famous tunnel performance, right? So
yeah, and this is online too, people. You could find it.
Yes.
So like that's exactly how the tunnel performance was.
Oh my god.
Damn near.
The intro with ODB.
Yeah.
Everything, all of that. So yeah, so the Bronx.
No, that wasn't at the tunnel. It was the fever or whatever.
The fever. So when I was it the fever in real life, or was it the tunnel in real life and they calling it the fever? So I don't know.
See, yeah, I mean, I thought it was the fever though. Hold on.
Okay, because if it's the fever, then it being accurate. If it's the fever, because it's the fever in the show. So I always just thought it was.
Yeah, it's the fever. It's the fever because if you put it in, you got to put in Wu-Tang Clan live at the fever.
Oh, so it is actually called the fever. See,
yeah, it's called the fever. Yeah, winter in '93.
Simple Google search, man. I should have just did that. But yeah, so cool. So, but still iconic though. You can look this stuff up. This footage is on YouTube. It's gritty. It's early '90s footage, so you know what it looks like.
It's grainy. And the idea that the crazy part is that somebody had this just in general, and to know that, and who like let's just like go into a random show, and now that don't mean nothing because we videotape everything. Even now, I don't videotape everything. We don't know that this is going to be the moment, but was then that means you had to come with a camcorder, get it through security, not get it broke up, keep the tape.
And the Bronx, man, is the most dangerous borough, like the grittiest, like they was, you know what I'm saying, when they were.
Shout out to the north side of St. Louis, who has now been done as the new the Bronx of St. Louis.
Bronx, yo, we gotta talk about that map too, son.
Yeah, that map is hard. I'm getting it blown up as a map on a real map on the wall.
Yo, yeah, throw some t-shirts together, man.
Yeah,
don't take the ideas, people, because we coming with that merch. This is SOLC official merch.
Official Bronx is Northside merch.
No question. So yeah, so you know what I'm saying, the Bronx, man, the Bronx where the hip hop was born, right? The fever. This is the stage that, like, you know what I'm saying, created and broke acts, right? So you had the Furious Five up there. They performed up there. Cold Crush Brothers, Grandmaster Flash. You know what I'm saying? Kool Herc. You know, the Pioneers. They all come from the Bronx. They all performed at this venue. Curtis Blow, Run DMC, Kumo D, everybody, right? LL. So all of these people have performed at this spot. This spot is like baked in with history. And so also because of this, it's a very exclusive, very like long line to get on the stage, right? And so you got to follow proper channels. Didn't really happen with the Wu-Tang Clan, right? So in episode 8, they kind of discuss and break down how that happened. So earlier that week, you know, Vine, Bobby, and Power taking meetings like with everybody. They took I think they started off with Elektra, and then they met with Geffen, they met with Warner Brothers, and then they met with Def Jam. That was the last one. I love that scene. But all the different scenes, is like Powers, like, what can you do for the group? What can you do for the group? What does it look like?
No. Let's take a step back.
Yeah.
Who do you think who is Lala playing? That's the Def Jam exec.
Oh, that's. I was getting there.
But yeah, but when you talk about but remember she was at the show though.
I wasn't. Yeah. So you jumping, you taking all.
Yeah. Because I'm jumping ahead of you.
No, it's good. It's good though because I'm getting there anyway. So like, first of all, I was gonna say like, how are we liking Lala's performance? First of all, because she came with that. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? But I don't know who exactly she was playing.
I have a feeling. I know, but I'm not sure if it is, but I believe it's the girl that I'm finna tell you her name
Okay.
because it's some deep stuff going around it. It's basically the woman that claimed that Russell Simmons raped her.
Oh,
Drew
shit.
Dixon. It's Drew Dixon is her name.
Oh,
I
shit.
think that's Drew Dixon because Drew Dixon is the one that signed meth and that came up with the month of the man with Meth and Redman. She came up with that. So I'm just wondering if that's supposed to be a proxy for her. I'm not sure.
She's brilliant, first of all.
And then if you go even deeper, you seen the movie Have Plenty before, right?
Yeah, of course.
That's based off of Drew Dixon.
Really?
The guy that Christopher Scott Stroh was really, that was his girl like that. That was based off of that, A Weekend with Them in DC for real. That was based off of that, a real thing.
Wow.
It was based off a real thing. He just
putting
changed
me on right now, brother.
Yeah.
You putting me on. Yeah, man.
Yeah, but I think it may be Drew Dixon. I could be totally wrong. It could be another exec, but I just know that she came up with the idea of Month of Man.
So, oh my God, dude, we could talk about that, man. That was when Meth and Red technically first met, bro.
Yeah, because a Month of Man.
They had the same, they were signed at the same time to Def Jam. They had a similar energy. They put them together, and then that's when they quarterback. They made them do How High
for the show soundtrack.
Damn, that joint was crazy.
All right, question before we move on: the original How High or not the I guess the updated remix version with the Fly Robin Fly in the background from the Jones Girls?
Oh.
They added that. That's two different versions.
Yeah. I don't know then. It would have to be the original, right? Because it's.
I like the one with the Jones Girls. Fly.
Oh, you asked which one I like better? Oh, that one.
I like that version better than the original. They're singing the hook.
You know what? Let me think about it, man. Because I like that. Look up in the sky, it's a bird. Yeah,
it's got the same stuff. It's just that it's a little bit more up tempo and it's got a little bit more soul bass around that. I mean, it just depends. I mean, the other one is a little bit more rhymier and grittier. The other one's a little bit more, Puff Daddy Bizzle on it.
Exactly. They both work, man.
And that's like the video too, man. They leaning out the ice cream truck.
Yeah, man. Them dudes was dope.
Oh yeah.
But that early Month of the Man joint. But yeah, so they were meeting with all kind of people, right? And these cats is getting money thrown at them. You know what I'm saying? And RZA, I mean, yeah, RZA, it was really RZA because, Vine and Power were like, it's a lot of zeros, kid. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's
and definitely Power was like, I need to cash out at some point.
He did too. Like he was tapped out.
Yeah.
All of this was his bread. So you know what I'm saying? They're meeting with everybody. They finally went up to Def Jam. A-Son is in the office. He was like, yo, he didn't go on any other meetings, but he went to Def Jam, right? He was just like, yo, they were like, yo, why are you here? And this is
gonna be an interesting thing going forward with this whole thing with ODB and Def Jam. And I'm interested in if they're just using it as a proxy for other stuff, but that we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, but you're right though. It's a little crazy, but yeah. So they asked him. Vine asked him. He was just like, "Yo, why are you here?" Because he's like, "Yo, all you gonna do is sit up here and talk shit. Yo, why are you actually here?" He was like, "Why am I here?" He was like, "Nigga, 4." He was like, "It's the supply." What did he say? It was he started
because he went through the mathematics. 4 means
freedom, righteousness, and you know what I'm saying, and peace, God. He's like, plus, nigga, this is Def Jam. He was like, they gonna put my face right next to LL on the wall. He's like, no, scratch that. They gonna paint my body, you know what I'm saying, on the ceiling like a Michelangelo with my nuts out. You know what I'm saying? This is wild. Oh, girl came and asked me, he's like, yo, you guys need anything? He was like, nah, we good. He was like, yeah, for sure. Let me get a coffee, a black coffee with sugar and honey in it. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, yo, And they're like, yo, what are you doing, son? Like, I think it was RZA. He was like, no, it was Vine. He was like, dude, you don't even drink coffee. He was like, that's beside the point, God. He was like, you tell them, they ask you want something, you say yes. That way they get into a habit of giving you stuff when you ask for it. And Bob and RZA, I mean, yeah, RZA was like, son is a genius. Like he's on to something. So Vine, Power, and Bobby going to the Def Jam office with the A&R, which is now we know is La La. You know what I'm saying? And you know, she sits down and she's like, yo, first things first, yo. You know what I'm saying? Usually I know a song is real when it make my pussy wet. And they said, right? And so they cut to the commentary, the narration. She was like, yeah, I could talk all that crazy, you know what I'm saying? Rah, rah, get them, catch them off guard. And you know what I'm saying? And so my man Vine was like, so I must ask. Did it work? She was like, oh, it did. It did. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got a banger. But then she was like, you know, trying to jump into it. And, you know, she was like, you know, this, you know, your song don't have a hook. Can y'all even write a hook? And Bobby was like, of course I can write a hook, but that's beside the point. We give off a different energy. She was like, okay, we talking about energy. Have y'all ever even performed together? Like, I don't even know what the rest of y'all look like. Like, what is a Wu-Tang? He was like, well, speaking of, you know what I'm saying, performing together, we performing at the Fever. She was like, when? And he was like, tomorrow. And so, hey. So she's like, what? They she said, when y'all performing? And like Vine and that Power, they couldn't get it together early, late, early. They said at the same time. She's like, we just trying to get the details worked out. So that's when it got interesting in the storyline, right? Because she was like, all right, I'll be there. I'll be there. Just let me know. Send me the details when you get them locked down. I'll be there for sure. And so they walk out the office. They're like, son, the Fever? Are you serious? Tomorrow? Are you serious? And so he's like, all right, man, we're going to make some calls. And so, you know what I'm saying? Power's like, he's like, yo, that's my word. I say it happens, it happens. So he goes up and he talks to the owner. And, you know what I'm saying? He kind of bum rushes the owner. The owner's sitting down. I don't think it was a scheduled meeting. He was just
no, that definitely wasn't a scheduled meeting.
Definitely was not.
Definitely wasn't a scheduled meeting.
So he approaches, there is some diner, looked like some little joint where the owner be at. And he probably got people in the front of the building. He in the back just enjoying his whatever he was enjoying at the booth. And so Power approaches him and he's just like, yo, you the owner of the Fever? He was like, yeah, that's me. He's like, would you mind if I sit down with you? And dude just looked at him. He's just like, so Power sits down and he asked if you ever heard of Wu-Tang. Power asked the owner if he said, yo, ever heard of Wu-Tang Clan? He was just like, yeah, I have these, yeah, because people are calling me asking, you know, I mean, like, are y'all performing tomorrow?
Right, because they didn't told everybody. No. Remember, Asan went out. They was like, man, we don't know yet. We don't need
tell nobody.
Put it out there like that. And he was telling everybody. The whole set now was trying to come.
If he wanted it to be a secret, why you tell me?
Right.
So yeah, it made it all the way back to the owner of the venue, right? He's like, yeah, I heard of Wu-Tang and this is why, because y'all trying to flex on me, you know what I'm saying? He said, he's just like, the owner asked me, he's just like, yo, the venue is booked solid, bro, like forever. Like, y'all got to get in line like everybody else. And Power was like, yeah, we kind of told everybody it's tomorrow. He was like, yo, you got a lot of balls. trying to force my hand, you know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, yo, but, you know, that was an interesting dialogue. It was not a successful dialogue as dialogues go with Power, because he didn't, you know what I'm saying? He had to, I'll come back to that, but he had to come and get some reinforcements. So cut to Dennis aggressively ordering food, right? Park Hill dudes, this is where it happened. The Park Hill dudes roll up. He was like, hey, yo, Stapleton, you know what I'm saying? Good job on the track, basically. And Sha roll up and he's like, yo, son, I thought it was about to be some static.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But he's just like, yo, this hip-hop thing, bro, this Wu-Tang thing, this statin against the world now, dog. Like, you know what I'm saying? We just need to keep doing what we're doing because clearly it's working, right? They saw the first thing work where they're getting on the radio. Now they're starting to see the streets start to dissolve beef. Like, son, we need to be doing this, right? And so you know, they start walking down the street together, and you know, Sha's just like, dog, do you know how many dope groups have performed at the Fever? And so they just going through it. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, Houdini, the Fat Boys, KRS, you know what I'm saying? Just throwing out names, and he's just like, yo, and then they walk up on the rest of the Woos, like, yo, peace, God. They, you know, they you know, they roll up on the crew, and they getting ready to prepare for rehearsal because Bobby was like, yo, we need to rehearse. It's in a few hours at this point. Like, we need to. So the rehearsal was funny because we later find out they split in time with a little ballet, like a little girl's ballet group. So you know what I'm saying? But they went into sound check, and Jizzle was like, yo, why does this even make sense? Why this is not the system we're going to be using. This ain't the room. These ain't the mics. Why are we doing sound check? Bobby was just like, yo, we gotta just prepare how we can prepare. Straight up, let me get ready to read the track list. Like, this is what we finna do. And he got cut off a couple of times. One of the times he got cut off, though, it was Power walking in with the Wu shirts, right? And so everybody had like the W, the black hoodie with the yellow, you know what I'm saying, Wu emblem on it.
Which was dope, which is a dope. I mean, people don't understand how iconic that is.
Man. And this is, if you think, this is the first time anybody sees them show up like in army mode, right? Like, everybody got the same joint on. You know what I'm saying? This is the Fever performance. Like, if you wasn't in Staten, all you know is protect your neck for real. It's a radio situation, but the live performance, cats ain't really seen it. So yeah, man, he reads the track list. Bobby finally ends up reading the track list at the rehearsal. And he's just like, all right, so we gonna do Protect Your Neck. Then we gonna do Method Man, METHOD Man. And then we gonna do It Could All Be So Simple. And so they look over it at Shy and Dennis, and Shy was like, son, we just recorded that. Like, Staten ain't even heard that yet. And then they pan over to Bobby, to Dennis, and Dennis is like, anxiety on 1,000. Like, it's like, son, they was like, yo, RZA was like, yo, son, you good? He's like, yeah, no doubt, son. Like,
because didn't it take him a while to do his verse 2 or something?
It did. And I feel like they always kind of alluded to it taking him longer than everybody else, just because he's just like overthinks everything. Like, he even overthought like being a rapper in general. Like, it took Shuri and his brothers to say, like, because he was like, yo, it's a million rappers. He was like, Shuri was like, yo, nice as you though. And like, his brothers was like, yo, son, you got to do this, man. You the man. Like, we hear it. You don't hear it yet, but you the man, bro. So like, it always kind of took him. He had to you know what I'm saying, kill those demons. You know what I'm saying? Every time he picked up a pen, which is dope that they show that in the show, because it shows a level of vulnerability with Ghost. And I think they show that element of more than any character.
I agree.
All of them show it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, Ghost is by far the most vulnerable character. So Power, you know what I'm saying, recruited, getting back to the whole convincing the owner thing, Power recruited Mook's, expertise one more time. This time it was to persuade him, you know what I'm saying, to come in to kind of persuade the owner. So this was in a barbershop, you know what I'm saying, Mook is getting cut up, and, you know what I'm saying, they go, basically, he's just like, yo, I need your help with this, man. And so, they show up. He's like, yo, your name precedes you. You the man out here. Everybody respects you. So they show up to the owner again, and Mook's is just like, how you doing? This is me. It's like, yo, when a man of your caliber calls, I'll pick up the phone. right? That's what the owner tells Mook. And so they're working out the details. He's just like, yo, this has to happen today. You know, he's just like, yo, a lot of execs are gonna be there. They're gonna sign with one of them, which means there's gonna be an album release party. This party's gonna have to happen somewhere, right? And you already know these guys drop a lot of money for these these record releases. And so we love to have that at the Fever also, but it has to the execs are waiting for you to open the door tonight because they're already RSVP with us, basically. And so Power keeps jumping in and he's saying certain things and it's rubbing the owner the wrong way. And Mook, it's just like, yo, you have to excuse my colleagues' enthusiasm, but you understand, like, these guys are the real deal.
Real deal.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's just like, my reputation is everything. You said that when I walked in. I would not risk my reputation on no bullshit. These cats are those dudes. So that he's like, all right, he's like, I'll squeeze you in. I'll give you, he gave just like, you know what I'm saying? I'll give you a few minutes in front of so-and-so. And so, done. Thank you. You know what I'm saying? Done. Whatever we can get. And so, they cut back to the rehearsal and, you know what I'm saying? They getting kicked out the room for the ballet Jones. The little girls walk in, they looking at these dudes like, Bobby's like, I thought we had more time. He's just like, well, practice got bushed up, man. What do you want me to do? Right. So, they cut over to Shuri and what's his name? Vine's girl. I always forget her name.
Oh, I don't even know. I've not known her name, and she's been heavy in the series, and she's been
heavy. On. So they getting all dolled up because you know what I'm saying. They trying to see the show too, right? And Shuri's like, yo, this is my first night out without the baby. Son, I'm a little nervous. I ain't never been to the Bronx before. And so Vine's girl's like, never? You ain't never been to the Bronx? And so she ends up, you know what I'm saying, sewing a flag, the Wu flag, with the emblem on it, like hand stitch, right? So she, Vine's girl, she knows how to sew. You know what I mean? She's making baby clothes too. You know what I'm saying? They kind of showed that a little bit. But Lala gets in the car and she's starting to head. This is almost showtime at this point. Lala gets in the car. She's starting to head to the Bronx and she's shocked that they actually booked the venue. She's like, son, if we don't sign them, I might just have to hire them to book venues. I've been trying to get in the Fever.
That was cute. That was ill right there.
Yo. So, yeah. So Wu-Tang finally pulls up to the Fever, right? And then the bouncers being extra. First of all, Meth didn't make sound check, the rehearsal. He had to meet them there. He was on some other stuff. So Meth actually meets them there. They got Staten Island, you know what I'm saying, waiting in the rain to get in. It's raining. But nonetheless, Staten Island showed up, right? Shuri swiped one of the business cards of the record execs. So she's fronting like she industry. So she gets right in. Her and Vine's girl, they get right in.
And it's probably, and more of likely in general, they just needed more women in the spot in general because these spots are
how I go.
Based on
hard leg joint.
Exactly. So it's like we need more women here. So it don't matter what you're saying.
Yeah, straight up, man. It was dolled up. They was looking fly. I would have let them in. I ain't gonna hold you. But the bouncer was being extra because he ain't never seen 1,000 people in a group before. So he's just like, y'all ain't no way all of y'all are in the group. This is when Wu-Tang tries to enter the venue. He's like, I'll let 3 of y'all in tops. And he's like, yo, how are we supposed to, Vine is like, how are they supposed to perform their set with 3 people? And she's like, well, y'all better figure out who's going to represent the group because I ain't letting anybody. You know what I'm saying? So the owner's up at the stage, like up the stairs where the bouncer, like the metal detector is, and he's just like, yo, Vine's like, this is the group. Your man ain't letting us in. Tell him to let us in. And so he's like, yeah, I let him in. And the bouncer's like, yeah, all right. Meanwhile, Dirk got the biscuit with him. He trying to figure out how he going to get it through the metal detector. Who we got? MVP always? Mook, right? Mook's already in. He's standing there. They try, around the side of the machine to hold Ason and his shenanigans down. So they all make it in. They all make it back to, I guess, would be considered a green room, right? The VIP section. And they got to fight local cats from trying to get up there. They're like, yo, are you VIP? No. So bounce. You know what I'm saying? Like, chill out. So that's when Divine's girl, you know what I'm saying, shows up with the flag. And she was like, yo, every army has a flag. And he's like, he wiped. He's like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Yo, thank you. Yeah, kisses her, embraces her in front of the joint. He gets fired up. But then they cut, yo, the crowd, son, is getting unruly.
Yeah, so, man, the fever I heard used to be crazy like that, man.
Crazy.
Not as bad as the tunnel or like the Latin Quarter or anything like that, but it would get crazy.
That's the one I wish I could have gone to, bro. The Quarters.
Yeah, but I heard the Quarters was like because the tunnel is crazy too. If anybody, the tunnel is the beginning of Belly.
Yeah.
So it's real shotgun and it's small and it's tall. So it's like basically one way in, one way out.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how cats used to get caught up and beat up in there.
No doubt, man. No doubt. Kind of like sprues. No,
and if Chicago people, if y'all remember the spot E2 that burnt that they had the trampling, man, that was like,
oh, chill.
Yeah, it was like 12 people got killed. Like, yes. There was only one way in, one way out. People got trampled on the steps, all that.
Yep. Big thing. Yeah, that was. And
it's crazy. I went to E2. It was crazy. That happened, I think, maybe February, March. I was there in like December during Christmas break. And I went to E2 with a couple of my boys. It was a small little spot.
Yeah. Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, they had that whole thing, man, when it came to national news.
Yeah.
But
before this Travis Scott stuff, that was like the one that I remember like that.
Yeah. Yeah. So they get into the VIP, crowd starts booing. They like, yo, we got to stall some more. The execs ain't here yet. Right. And so they like, yo, we got to go on now. So they start, in dramatic fashion, they do. You can hear the, what I'm saying, heartbeats. They got the little sound effect. Look around the room. Whose anxiety is on 1,000? Dennis, right?
Of course. It's always him.
He's like, yo, he's hearing the crowd. He's like, this is his first live performance. Not his first live performance, because they performed, but like, this is the fever. So, and then you got, because he's going over his lyrics and he's forgetting words. It's like, and then you cut over to a couple other cats. You cut over to Genius. And he's war face. Like, he's like, like I said, when he's not for the style points, this guy, man. Like I said, when I saw him, last month, he's just ready for bars. He's ready for war. He's coming in to chop heads, bro. Period. That's what the Genius do. And so, they cut to the A-Song got the mic. God bless A-Song. Hey, yo, God. He got the, you know what I'm saying?
He came out there wild and just like, you ever heard the Wu-Tang Clan?
Yo, he was like, yo, shut the fuck. It's like, yo, he's trying to boo him off and he's calling people out. Yo, he's just like, yo, he's like, listen, man, it don't matter where you from. You could be from here, there. He's like, yo, the only reason why we got borders anyway is because white people drew the lines. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, same thing over here, same thing over there. You know what I'm saying? It's all us. You know what I'm saying? He's like, yo, if it's static, like I could, you know what I'm saying? I could kill, you know what I'm saying, right now, but I don't want to do that. You know what I'm saying? He's just like going off. But it was the perfect stall to get the execs in. The execs finally show up, right? And so he's still going. He's just like, yo, he went on the whole rant. And, by the time it was time to be quiet, Von's like, shut, yo, introduce us. So he does. He's like, Wu-Tang Clan. You know what I'm saying? And so everybody comes out and they come out deep and they perform and they act a fool. You know what I'm saying? Protect Your Neck is hot. So they led with it. You know what I'm saying? The crowd was, you know what I'm saying? And everybody is, you know what I'm saying? They come out, they do their thing. The crowd was loving it. They went straight to METHOD, man. The whole clan fell back. Method's like, yo, why y'all standing back there? it's just me on this track, but it's our song. Like, yo, come up here with me. So they, man, MET, you know what I'm saying? And so everybody, hey, you. And so everybody went crazy on that joint. And then right before they do, it could all be so simple. Dennis sees Shuri in the audience.
Yep.
It's like, yo, what are you doing here? She was like, boy, try to hear it. He's like, yo, anybody touch my girl, I'm going to jail, flat out. And so that kind of, she blew him a kiss and the whole thing, and he just went off. And then, you know what I'm saying?
One thing I do like that they're this is something in general that I love that they're all the actual actors are actually re-spitting the rhymes instead of like kind of tracking them,
dubbing it.
But I just really have the hardest problem with my dude that played Method Man. What's his name? I can't remember.
Dave East.
Dave East. He doesn't have the energy of a Meth to be able to go back. Meth is laid back, but then he jumps up his energy. He stays in gear one all times.
Yeah. He sounds a lot like him.
He does, and he's got the look and the height. And I guess that as they were casting, they said, we won't get the energy, but we can get the look and kind of the feel of Meth, but we may miss the energy and style of Meth performing wise.
Yeah, Meth goes off. I mean, Meth, yeah.
Yeah, like his voice even changes when he's like, you know, like we'll get into episode 9 when he does the hook for Cream. Like he's so low key with it. It was like, even on Protect Your Neck, and he's like, moving on your left. It's a feel that Meth gives you that thing, moving on your left.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Fair.
Like it's just, I just don't think it's not in him wholly to be that hype
cool.
like that.
You think he's too cool?
He's too cool.
But you know what? You know what he's missing though? I think to your point, he's not. Dave East hasn't established, like, this was a very hungry Method Man back in the day, right? This was a very, like, so Dave East is doing a fantastic job, but Dave East probably has it because he's traveled a similar career pattern.
Yeah.
But he got it a little different. Well, even I kind of got it the same because Meth was an athlete and so was Dave.
Yeah.
So
Dave,
he probably could pull it off. He just got to dig it out. Because he has a similar trajectory as Meth.
Yeah, that was just one of my things with the Meth performance on that stage, and it was like it really was pronounced then. And I couldn't get my finger on it before, but that performance at the Fever kind of highlights me like, man, he just needs to be a little bit more hype because you got to think, how are we gonna do? I'm assuming when we talk about season 3, Meth and Red, the Month of Man, that's a whole different. They vibe is like super energy, and Dave East ain't got no super energy.
Who you think they gonna get to play Red though? Oh my God, bro, son, that we let's wait till we get to the church.
Yeah, that's a good one to think about.
So, I got a lot of confidence in their casting though. I mean, after you find T.J. Adams to play a perfect ODB,
they said they found him on the streets.
Like, word?
Yeah.
Yo, that dude, man, that's something else. It's like they found Buddy to play Sinke on Amistad, man. They found him on the street back in the day.
You talking about
Maura Lee Simmons is
Damaju Hanzu.
All right. Sound about right. Yeah, they found him on the street. There's a lot of cats but that's what's up. But so they tear down the Fever, right? Lala references the way she feels about music again, obviously. Vine obviously says, well, what about now? You know what I'm saying? And she's like, yeah, I'm there right now. I'm actually there right now. So successful performance. I don't know if you noticed it, but before they went on stage, they were like, yo, they spelled our name wrong on the marquee. Like,
and then when they came out, it was spelled right.
It came out, it was like in big letters, yo. It was like, yeah, it was nice.
That was a dope directing cinematography to do that. Now,
Yeah,
something stepping back a little bit. If you notice that they always show Steve Rifkin listening to this song to protect your neck, like
mm,
hearing it randomly in the cab. He
the
heard
cab,
like, what
yeah.
is this? Oh, I don't know. I just turned it on. Like, oh, okay, man, I can't
It
find him.
happened to
Remember, he's
get
trying
the
to find
name
him.
of the song. Yeah, he's like, nah, I don't know what the name of the song is. But you're right, though. It's always protect your neck, though.
Yeah. So
That's
we can
crazy.
jump to episode 9, man.
Yeah, man.
Uh,
What you got on
episode
now?
9. This is called, the episode's called Cream, obviously because they're getting trying to go after the money and mentioning Steve Rifkin.
Yeah.
They end up signing with Loud, but they go through the journey of going. They go to Def Jam, they go to Electra, and then
Yeah.
Loud was the last one. So Def Jam,
Yeah.
I think they offered them 250. And then Electra offered them 150 and then gave Bobby a sword. Is that the same sword he ends up using in different videos?
You know what? I don't know, but that would be
Are they
funny.
trying to say that? I don't know. I mean, I don't
That
know.
would be funny if it was, because they turned that deal down.
Yeah. No, but they still got, but Electra still got ODB.
Well, they got ODB, but they didn't get the Wu-Tang Clan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So were they going back and forth through all this? And the interesting thing about Steve Rifkin, you know what I'm saying? Like he was definitely a privileged kid coming up, but he changed the game of street teams. He's the one that came with like the concept of, and the street teams don't mean nothing no more, but the idea of just murdering the fields and getting things out there and having teams of people and organize them correctly. He revolutionized the street team aspect within hip hop. So he was a grinder, man, and he didn't really try to too much. He was doing it on his own. His dad wasn't giving him no bread. He wasn't getting no bread from the home label or anything along those lines. So they trying to get bread. They're going through all this different stuff. They figure out how to do Cream. But what did you think of? I mean, I think that no one will ever sign a deal like the Wu-Tang Clan, number one. Where
it never happened.
Because when they end up wanting to sign a Def Jam after looking over everything, because Steve Rifkin said, I'm gonna give you $100,000 or whatever. He's like, well, dang.
Yeah.
And Vine was like, y'all owe me like 100. So
yeah, straight up.
y'all could split that 150, 10,
they
12
were
cats.
Man, it was but I think what happened, like it was like Rifkin was like, he asked Bobby straight up, he was like, yo, what do you actually want? Yeah. He's just like, and that was because that was right after they had the 200, you know what I'm saying, K thrown at him from Def Jam. But Lala was like, or whoever her character's name was, just like, she just assumed that she signs them, she signs them. You know what I'm saying? To solo.
That's the old way of the labels were.
Right. So when Rifkin was like, yo, what do you actually want? He was just like, I need everybody to have their own freedoms. Like, you get the group as a group, but everybody else kind of navigates the industry how they see fit.
And he wanted people to be different places, because you basically would get the marketing budget for the whole Wu-Tang Clan through all these different labels instead of having one marketing budget going through one place.
It was brilliant.
Yep.
He said, yo, what happened? Like, if Method Man, Lord forbid, flops, they're not gonna give no money to Dirt for his. He said, yo, it's, you know what I'm saying? I'm playing chess. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't, you know. And
okay, well, like, let me take a step back. There is a real this person is based off Tracy Waples, who's a real executive. So it's not Drew Dixon. It's actually a real sister that was executive at Def Jam at the time.
That's what's up. Shout out to Stacey Waples then.
Tracy Waples.
Tracy Waples, excuse me. Yeah. All right. Well, that's what's up. But yeah. So go ahead, bro. With 9.
But yeah,
man.
So then they going back and forth, going all around. Everybody thinking that they're gonna sign at Def Jam, and he pulls the switcheroo and is like, "No, man, we gonna go with we gonna go with Loud, like Loud. They offers it the least." And then of course, what is his name? I can't remember now. It's throwing me off. Vine is like, are you serious?
He said, you did fucking what? They cut it off. It was hilarious.
What?
Oh man. Oh, he was upset, bro. But the thing is, like, Bobby wouldn't run nothing by them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I mean, it's justifiable. Like, you like, dog, you like when it was in He didn't tell Power about it either. Like at the Def Jam meeting, he was like, yo, you gotta let us into your head, bro. Cause we didn't discuss this at all. So he's just sitting there in the meeting like,
but he's like, but he broke it down the way that they broke down, and RZA broke down everything. It made the most sense in the world for them to make that play like that.
absolutely.
It made the most sense for them to play like that.
Absolutely.
Now, when we get in episode 10, we can see that maybe RZA was kind of trying to do a little bit too much puppeteering potentially, but he was also looking out for people at the same time.
How did you? Yeah. How did you like the imagery of RZA playing chess with himself?
I loved it. I love that, like, you know, because it was like basically like three different parts of his life.
Yeah, he had the tuxedo on.
Yep.
He had the Ohio Bobby, and he had the real time Bobby, and it was really neat.
And it's basically a juxtaposition of how we are with ourselves in general.
Yeah.
We're fighting against our former selves all the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who we are now, or should we even be the former self? And most of the time, we don't need to be the former self. We are ready to move and elevate it.
You know what, man? Is as wild as this, as I'm speaking to my Black brothers and sisters, just in this moment, as wild as this country is, this is the only place where you can reinvent yourself at any point. Yeah. So, you know what I mean? You could spend, I mean, these jobs don't exist anymore, but like you could retire from a job, you know what I'm saying, 20, 30 years on a job and go do something else, a passion project that you could just be whoever you want to be. Now there's different oppositions now for people to look like us, but you still can do it. And so that's, you know what I'm saying, I think that's what that represented too. Like Buddy had like one of the Prince Rakeem version he had on the tuxedo. He was just like, yo, this would have been a lot easier to put on with $200,000. You know what I'm saying? But RZA was just like, you know what I'm saying? Yo, this is not the move. Basically, he's going back and forth. And it was dope. You saw three stages, like you said. It was reinvention happening in the internal battle. And I'm glad, and I think we should all take from it, like we should all follow our instincts for the most part, because otherwise we can begin to overthink stuff and we silence our instincts for intellect, right? And so intellect doesn't always play in our favor.
Yes, it's ill, man. It's just, and then we basically, Bobby says we on this label, you know, and that's what we finna do. Yeah. And everybody's like, oh, I guess that's what we finna do.
Yeah. Yo, Genius never signed the contract, huh?
I guess not. That's something I did not know.
Well, they alluded to it when everybody signed the contracts back in, what was that, episode
six or seven. Five. It was 5 or 6, yeah.
Yeah. He's like, yo, my word is bond, girl. Like he's like, I don't need to sign that. And like the whole time, like when they were performing in episode 9 for who did Rifkin have them performing for? The Interscope. The Germans, right?
Yep.
Bobby was like, yo, can I holler at you for a second? Talking to Genius. He was like, yo, you good? Like money, everything straight? He's like, yeah, the messenger job does well, man. I ain't hungry at all. He's like, but you ain't asked about none of the business, none of that. He said, yo, son, we've been here before. We know what it's like to be broke. We know what it's like to be rich. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what do you say? We know what it's like to eat something. And then he say, we know what it's like to eat steaks also. And it's just like, we've been on the side of the thing. I'm not worried about a thing, man. You just handle your business. But I don't think he ever did sign that contract.
It's actually RCA, my bad, not RCA. Yeah. So no,
RCA was the one who said absolutely not when he went to go ask for more money. Is it the same?
That's the same thing. That was the same party, remember?
Okay.
So that was the thing that was ill. As we get into wrapping up that episode, is yo, them cats had to be a menace on tour, on hotels and shit, yo.
Had to.
Like, you gotta think, you got 9 of them, And I'm assuming every one of them got 3 or 4 of their homeboys in their own personal entourage. That's 36 cats.
Yeah. Yeah. But when the money started rolling in, they weren't just, you know, getting tellies, they was getting suites. And so they was upgrading, you know what I'm saying, the situation.
Yeah, but they was hard on them.
But they had to be, it had to be ridiculous, man.
They had to be hard on them.
You want to talk about how you got locked up, Sam?
Yeah, that
Fam, I had just talked about this.
And the thing is, and that's something about you guys, it seems in general, that he's just susceptible to his ego a lot. It just feels in general, not just with this and other things as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like, even if you watch the show, it seems like he's always battling with them over something.
Yeah.
You know, like over something, or he's upset about something.
Yeah. I don't know.
It is, and I can be totally wrong. You know, I haven't read you guys' book or anything like that. But
do you intend to?
I'm sorry.
Do you intend to?
No, probably not. But I mean,
I'm gonna get it though, probably at some point for the live.
Yeah, but maybe I might get it on tape or something, because I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'll probably
audio joint. I'll get the audio if he ain't reading it.
Oh yeah, I need somebody else, because I just don't want nobody reading to me as a Wu-Tang. Wu-Tang, no, like, you know, son. So we was up on the 5th full block. Like, okay, no, I just want to.
No, just give me somebody. Just give me a narrator, please.
Yeah, just give me a nice narrator, and I can visualize, think of it myself.
But no, man, he had just, like, Bobby was like, son, because he had Buddy come to the studio. He was like, I told you don't ever come here unless you needed me. He's just like, yo, get up out the studio. And but Buddy handed you got a package, and like RZA seen it while they was recording Cream. What do they call Cream? Lifestyle. Before they named it Cream, they called it Lifestyle.
Yep.
And
but they did show how Meth is the hook master though too for Cream.
He's the melodic dude. Take a step back though, while he's just like, yo, because they were like, yo, INS was like, I don't want to write about no rich and famous shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? We broke out here, bro. I want to. He's like, listen to this. I wrote this verse while I was locked up. You know what I'm saying? He spit his verse. He's like, yo, that's just deep. So he's like, let's figure out how to sound on a track. Get in the studio and see how it sounded in the booth. And then they cut to Shala, and he's getting evicted. Like, they already got the sign on the door and the whole thing. So remember, his mom was living with the neighbor across the hall, rather.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, why didn't you tell me about you? Because he was like, what's going on? He's like, y'all missed a couple payments. He's like, yeah, why didn't you tell me, Ma? He's like, I didn't want you to go back to them streets. So, you know what I mean? He's upset. He punches the door. You know what I'm saying? He goes back to the studio, and he brings that energy with him. Power's like, yo, I hear you, bro. I hear you. Bring that and put it in there. And he was just like, yo, play deck verse for dude, son. They played deck verse, boom. And he's just getting fired up. He's like, exactly, son. And that's when he went in there. He did his thing. You know what I'm saying? Staying alive was no job. You know what I'm saying? So that's where we get that from. And then Meth comes in and cuts, you know what I'm saying?
Cuts the major hook. People would not have listened to that song if it wasn't for Meth's hook.
That's real. That's real.
It brought you in, and then you start listening to the rhymes.
Yeah.
Which is what a hook's supposed to do in general.
And then you got ODB. You got him.
Just random as fuck.
You got dirty in on it, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, that's man, all of that was happening when that happened. But you God was having the packages delivered, and that kind of pissed off the RZA. And so you fast forward to the night where they celebrating after the performance over at the RCA party, and you know what I'm saying, they spraying the fire extinguishers at each other. And you got
fire extinguisher. What they do?
You know what I'm saying? And Meth was asleep. They bust in on him and they doused him. And he was like, oh, these niggas gotta die. You know what I'm saying? He would have got one. Meanwhile, Dennis is robbing the white folks on the other side of the hall. So, but
I said they was hard on some stuff, man.
Yeah, man, these cats was. But
this is the reason you have to put a credit card up for a hotel room, is because of people like the Wu-Tang.
Because of them. Thanks.
Well, man, let's wrap it
man.
on up, man.
Yeah.
We coming up with episode 10 and the finale and our prediction for season 3. Where can they hit you up at, Focus?
Hey man, the Focus Gallery, TheFocusGallery. That's on Instagram, THAFOCUS at Twitter. Strong brand, you know what I'm saying? That's the
This is the brand. Yeah.
you know what I mean? But that's also on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Strung, STRUNG brand, BRAND. So yeah, that's where I'm at. That's where I live. Where you at, man?
All right, you can hit us up, Lando Cal Pod, SOLC Network as well. Make sure you subscribe, all the different places where you can get all this dope content at. We're gonna be coming with some more heat next week, and as we finish this out, me and Focus on to figure out another show to review because people have been really loving our reviews.
No
so
question.
We'll figure out something else too as we move along.
We're gonna talk about it. Drop the well, after you click the subscribe button, drop your suggestions in the comments.
Yeah, there you go. Even better. And shout out to everybody that's been listening. We'll be back next week, though. Definitely with next week. We'll be back next week. All right. Peace.
Indeed. Peace.